Hello everyone, James from Kirklees Guitar School here. So, I just thought I'd make a quick video on this really. I'll show you this cool thing. So, I get asked about 12 strings, and George, one of the KGS tutors at the school, has just recently acquired this lovely Harley Benton 12 string. Now I don't know, let me get really close. Can you see? Can you see it? There is 12 strings there, it's just a very, very, very thin. And I asked him if I could borrow it for a couple of days. I was going to do a couple of lessons on it, but in hindsight, we're just getting ready to shut for Christmas, and I ain't really got the time to do it. So I might have to ask you if I can borrow it again, George. We'll see. But I just thought it'd be worth documenting for those of you that are, we're all, myself included, still students of the guitar. And it's just, you might have seen them, but you don't really understand how you play a 12-string guitar. So I just wanted to make a quick video so you can hear it and you can see. So the idea of a 12-string guitar is that it sounds like there's two guitars being played at the same time. Bonus points if you can tell me what the song was that I was strumming at the beginning of the video, by the way. Let me know in the comments. Now the idea is that it sounds like two guitar players are playing at the same time. Now if I zoom in on the guitar, I showed you that the strings were doubled up, didn't I? Okay. Now a 6-string guitar is tuned E, A, D, G, B, E. And this guitar's just the same, except with 2 E's, with 2 A's, 2 D's, 2 G's. It says if I can pick the right one. This is part of the problem with these. 2 B's and 2 high E's. Now, the E, the A, the D and the G strings are all, can you see, if you get super duper close, can you see how, if we look at the low E string, can you see how the top one's thin and the lower one's thicker? Now the lower one is more akin to what you'd find on a 6-string guitar. That's the first note that we'd play. But then if I play the thinner one above it, it's still an E, but it's what we call an octave apart. And they're both the same note, but it's kind of got this 3-dimensional. Now that happens, so you've got E, A, D, G, and they've got a reciprocal string that are tuned an octave higher than those. And then you've got the B string and the high E string, where it's literally just 2 strings tuned to the same pitch. So that's 2 B's tuned to the same pitch, and 2 E's. So what that yields is when you're strumming, capo somewhere near. No, sadly not. It sort of has this really sort of angelic. Now these were designed to be strummers' guitars. I don't think they were ever meant to be sort of played above the 5th fret. They were all meant to be cowboy chords. But the idea was, you think of something like the intro for, that's why I'm looking for a capo, but I don't have one handy, unfortunately. Something like the intro for Hotel California it sounds as ornate as it does, but it's a 12-string guitar. And there's so many, it has this sort of really cool, sounds massive. And that was the whole point. It was to get an extra sound on stage. Now some people actually take the strings of a 12-string guitar and get rid of all the normal ones, and that would be called a Nashville tuned guitar. So this were always going to be a waffly video, so just bear with me. Have patience. It's been a long term. So how do you play? How do you play one? Well, essentially, you just strum. Like, you see how I'm playing a C chord there? Or a G chord or an E minor. In fact, let me zoom this camera in. Okay. So if I play an E minor chord, I'd play the 2nd fret of the A string and the 2nd fret of the D string. But can you see how I'm pressing both A strings and both D strings? And then I'd just play it normally. And it sounds massive. Play a C chord, 1st fret of the B, 2nd fret of the D, 3rd fret of the A. G. You know, it works with bar chords. Now, they do get a little bit more fiddly the higher up you go up the neck. And it's the same for, like, if I was to use the first position of the A minor pentatonic. I'm looking at this in the viewfinder and it's all backwards. I do know how to play scale. But that's how, like, a lot of bands like the Byrds and sort of those sort of 60s groups had that sort of really cool... And you can get electric 12-string guitars. This one does specifically plug in. This is a Harley Benton. It's one of the... you get it from Thomann. Now, the action's quite high on this one. You know, it's not Jimi Hendrix at Woodstock, but it is pretty high. Should you buy one? Probably not. You know, a lot of people buy them and then they're a pain in the backside to chew. If you get a good one that stays in tune, it's not too bad, but I don't know if you can see, the neck on the back of this guitar is really thick. That's really wide. I don't know how much that sort of comes in, but really, like, I have massive hands, and I'm struggling to get my thumb over the top of it, but it's quite a shallow neck as well. I wouldn't recommend that everybody get one, but if you've got something very specific, you know, if you wanted to learn that Bon Jovi riff, or I don't know, you know, that Wish You Were Here, any sort of Pink Floyd stuff, maybe, you know, Pinball Wizard could sound pretty cool on it, but it is just a toy. So there you go. Sometimes we get cool stuff that lands in the studio, and I like to use them as an opportunity to show you. So hopefully that's answered some of your questions. I'll see you next week for another guitar lesson. Thank you.